I cannot hear. Okay. You can hear me now, right? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
Prabhu. I can hear you.
Yes. So yes, the eternal engagement, Bhakti Rasa can be understood. No, this one is. Yeah, new chapter, correct. From here we have to read Bhakti Rasa. Yeah, read Puneet Prabhu, you can read today.
Yeah.
Bhakti
Bhakti
Rasa.
Rasa, however,
Hmm.
the mellow released in the transcendental loving service of the Lord does not finish with the end of life. It continues perpetually and is therefore called Amrita, that which does not die but exists eternally. This is confirmed in all Vedic literatures. Bhagavad Gita says that a little advancement in Bhakti Rasa can save the devotee from the greatest danger, that of missing the opportunity for human life. The rasas derived from our feelings in social life, in family life, or in the greater family life of altruism, philanthropy, nationalism, socialism, communism, etc., do not guarantee that one's next life will be as a human being.
Hmm.
We prepare our next life by our actual activities in the present life. A living entity is offered a particular type of body as a result of his action in the present body. These activities are taken into account by a superior authority known as Daiva, or the authority of God. This Daiva is explained in Bhagavad Gita as the prime cause of everything, and in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that a man takes his next body in Daiva Nitrena, which means by the supervision of the authority of the Supreme. In an ordinary sense, Daiva is explained as deity. Daiva supervision gives us a body selected from 8.4 million forms. The choice does not depend on our selection, but is awarded to us according to our destiny. If our body at present is engaged in the activities of Krishna consciousness, then it is guaranteed that we will have at least a human body in our next life. A human being engaged in Krishna consciousness, even if unable to complete the course of Bhakti Yoga, takes birth in the highest divisions of human society so that he can automatically further his advancement in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, all bona fide activities in Krishna consciousness are Amrita or permanent. This is the subject matter of the nectar of devotion.
Good purpose. Yes, Prabhu. So any reflection on this?
Yeah, I think just as continuation from our yesterday's discussion, I think Bhakti Rasa is the only one which is permanent in nature. So it carries into different forms that we take, the soul takes. And also, I think we have to keep in mind that it's not up to us to decide which body we're going to take. It's up to our actions in our present life. And if you take actions that align with Krishna consciousness, we'll get a minimum of human body. So at least we can continue our uh, path of bhakti.
Hmm. Yeah, good point. Yes, Prabhu. Anybody else? Xavier, you want to share any point?
Um, I think I might kind of double over what go over what was just said, but yeah, I like that it said Bhakti Rasa does not finish with the end of life, and that if we're engaged, if the body at present is engaged in Krishna consciousness, then I think it said, let's see here, then it's guaranteed that we will at least have a human body in our next life.
Hmm. Yeah. So that's why he says, no, swalpam yasya hi dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. When little endeavor on this path, will save one from the greatest type of danger. And what is that greatest danger? When we glide down to the lowest piece of life like that. Actually, we get our life based on what kind of mellow we are attached to. Like somebody is attached to the mellow of opposite sex. No, there's some mellow because of lust. So there's a mundane rasa because somebody is too attached to that lust. Then he may get a body of dog, but there he'll get that kind of thing, more facility, dog or some kind of other species of life. Same with somebody is attached to meat eating so much, then he may get tiger's body like that. So everybody is working for some rasa. So if you keep mundane rasa only, somebody is only attached to family, and all that, then he has to take birth in another family next life. He cannot get rid of because he's attached to family of this world. So again, to experience him, to continue experiencing that, then again, material nature will facilitate that only. That. But if somebody works on bhakti rasa, development of bhakti rasa, so bhakti rasa leads one. Bhakti rasa means Krishna consciousness. That leads one to eventually come to the platform of eternally relishing that bhakti rasa, which is going back to Godhead. That's why he's saying a human being engaged in Krishna consciousness, even if unable to complete the course of Bhakti Yoga, takes birth in a higher division of one's society, so that he can automatically further his advancement in Bhakti Rasa, that is Krishna consciousness. Therefore, all bona fide activities in Krishna consciousness are Amrita or permanent. So Bhakti Rasa is a permanent thing. That's what he's trying to say. And another interesting thing, let's hear any other point. Our Prashant Prabhu and Pranay Prabhu, anybody would like to share?
Yeah, one thing is like it is mentioned, right? Like what activities we do in like our present life, it is like preparation for our next life. So I think we should like always remember that, like whatever actions we are taking currently, so it should all be like Krishna conscious, basically, right? So if we are attached in like sense gratification and like bad things, then we'll go to lower form of species, right? Basically. So that is like a powerful point. And even if like somehow if even if we are engaged in like Krishna consciousness and we couldn't like complete the course of bhakti yoga, still we'll get the human life, right, in the next life. So we'll continue our spiritual advancement, and I think our situation and environment would be more better, right? So we can go back to Godhead. So these two things like are quite powerful in this.
Correct. And the science of taking birth also explained here. Deva. He's saying that the divinity is offered a particular type of body as a result of action in the present body, and then how that is being given Deva Nitrana by superior authority known as Deva, authority of God. That means we cannot escape that. So when you're having any kind of activity in this life, so it is all recorded, because it is under the direction of the Supreme Lord and his agents. Once one is given from one body to another body, like that. So it's a science basically, and that everything is based on that science. In the sense, what I'm saying is that it's not a randomly somebody is getting some birth, depending upon how the person has lived his life, and everything is accounted. So I'm just and the Supreme Lord and his agents will actually accordingly award the body that particular living entity based on what kind of actions he has performed. It's called Daiva. So in Bhagavad Gita also, na 18th chapter, there are 5 factors told of any cause for any action. So in that, one of the very prominent factor is called is Daiva. So pull out that verse for you. This is 18 point. 24. This is 20. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one. So this is 18.18. This is ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं प्रज्ञाता त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना कारणं कर्म करते थे त्रिविधा कर्म शिक्षण. This is not this.
I think maybe 14th, right? In the 18th chapter.
Correct, correct. Adhishthanam, yes. And how did you find out?
Like I searched it.
ChatGPT?
Yeah.
ChatGPT is very intelligent. Okay, so Adhishthanam, you asked 5 factors for any action. Huh?
No, I just asked like Deva in 18th chapter, which slok it is written. So it gave slok 14.
Acha Deva, okay. Like that. Okay, correct. So here you can see the place of action, the performer, the various senses, so many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the supreme soul. These are the 5 factors of action. So in that, the supreme soul is the main, ultimate cause. Ultimate cause, because he has the upper hand, because he is like the boss. So based on, that's why his role is the important role. So if he wants, he can change the chemistry. Like all your factors, whatever may be there, but if you want that, he can change the chemistry. And then yeah. So the point what I'm saying is that Deva is why saying Deva is explaining Bhagavad Gita as a prime cause of everything. Like that. And Srimad Bhagavad Gita says man takes the next body by Deva Netrana. No? That is another verse. No? Karmana Deva Netrana Jantur Dehopapate. Yeah. Striya Pravishta Udaram. Striya Pravishta Udaram. Vireta Kanashraya, forgetting one word. So it says that. So it comes in third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Daiva, supervision gives us a body selected from 84 lakh species of life. So choice does not depend on our selection, but it depends upon our actions, not our selection. The selection will be from Deva side. Supreme Lord and his agents will select. Just like you can give exam, but you selected or not, that depends upon the higher authorities. They will do that. Same thing here also.
Which canto, which canto and chapter in the Srimad Bhagavatam?
Karmana Devanitrena. Yeah, just pull out Pranay Prabhu. Just write the Karmana Devanitrena. Pull it out.
Is it the same for words found in the Gita?
Which one, like Karmana?
Yeah, Karmana Devanitrena. I can pull out one. I will start. Oh my God, it has a problem.
Canto 3, chapter 31, verse 1.
Hey,
Canto,
31.
Canto 3.
Yeah, I'll send in the chat.
Okay, thank you. And then
You can put the verse also, Prabhu.
Yeah. 1 second. This one only, right?
Yes. Correct.
and then the one for the Gita as well,
That
please.
is 18.14. 18.14.
Okay, thank you. Awesome, thank you.
Okay, so let's go to next. So yes, who will read now? Prashant, would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. So this eternal engagement in Bhakti Rasa can be understood by a serious student upon studying the nectar of devotion. The adoption of Bhakti Rasa or Krishna consciousness will immediately bring one to an auspicious life free from anxieties and will bless one with transcendental existence, thus minimizing the value of liberation. Bhakti Rasa
This is
itself.
amazing point. See, Bhakti Rasa can be understood by serious student who are studying the nectar. That's why we are reading this. And when we have bhakti rasa, that will bring one to an auspicious life free from all anxieties and bless one with transcendental existence, meanwhile the value of liberation. There's another chapter which talks about how devotional service even surpasses liberation also. It is beyond liberation. So devotee does not aspire for liberation also. It is very interesting. Now everybody wants liberation. Why we are performing spiritual path? For mukti, for liberation. People think like that. But bhakti rasa is beyond liberation. Liberation devotee doesn't care about. So somebody can get liberated and not have proper, bhakti rasa. Of course, you need some bhakti to get liberation also. Some little bhakti is required. Some tinge of bhakti is required, at least some. But there is no active reciprocation of love with the Lord, even if somebody gets liberated in Brahma Jyoti, somebody goes to Brahma Jyoti. So we know that Brahma Jyoti is the effulgence of the Lord, which is called Brahma Jyoti, impersonal Brahman. Beyond that, there are spiritual planets where one can go and actively participate in the service of the Lord. And in that also, the Golok Vrindavan is the highest. Correct. You know that, no? This is all what I'm saying. I can show you the picture of the universe. So now I'll show you. See this one. So here is one universe. You see, that Brahma Jyoti is here, you can see. There's so many universes are there, right? And this Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti, the effulgence coming out from the Supreme Lord's abode and the Lord, like that. And there's so many Vaikuntha planets also, you can see. Innumerable Vaikuntha planets are there. So many planets, all these planets are there. And that is the Golok Vrindavan. Golok Vrindavan is the highest. You can see, this is a spiritual world. So this is material world is 1/4 and spiritual world is 3/4. Like that. Yes, go ahead, Prabhu, Bhakti Rasa.
Bhakti rasa itself is sufficient to produce a feeling of liberation because it attracts the attention of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Generally, neophyte devotees are anxious to see Krishna or God, but God cannot be seen or known by our present material blunt senses. The process of devotional service, as it is recommended in the Nectar of Devotion, will gradually elevate one from the material condition of life to the spiritual status, wherein the devotee becomes purified of all designations. The senses can then become uncontaminated, being constantly in touch with bhakti rasa. When the purified senses are employed in the service of the Lord, one becomes suited in bhakti rasa life, and any action performed for the satisfaction of Krishna in this transcendental bhakti rasa stage of life can be relished perpetually.
Yeah, I'll just little bit explain. So Bhakti Rasa itself is sufficient to produce a feeling of liberation. That means liberation is included in Krishna consciousness. Just like going from negative to zero, zero to positive. So if you have positive, then negative, zero is already there. So a devotee is already in a liberated situation. In fact, the definition of liberation from the bhakti perspective is muktir hitva anyatha rupena sarupena vyavasthitaha. Means mukti means anyatha rupena, hitva anyatha rupena. You give up all other varieties of designations and identifications. Mukti hitva anyatha rupena sarupena vyavasthitaha means, and you are situated in your own original position as servant of Krishna. So when you are situated in servant of Krishna, you are already liberated from all the varieties of misidentification. So you don't have like something material in your life that way. because you are not identifying with anything material, right? You're completely situated on a spiritual platform of being servant of Krishna, and you're actively engaged in that service of Krishna. Like, that is automatic liberation. So the so-called liberated fellows, who, I mean, the so-called people who want to get, so-called spiritualists who want to get liberation without devotion, actually is not very aspired liberation by devotee. Devotees don't want to do that. Those who don't have devotion for Krishna, that kind of liberation devotees don't want. Five kinds of liberations are there. One is Sayujya, that is getting into impersonal Brahma Jyoti, that's called Sayujya. Then there are four other, Sarupya, Salokya, Samipya, Sarishti. So Salokya means same planet like Lord, you may get residence. Samipya means near the Lord, you stay near the Lord. Then Sarupya means having the form like the Lord. And Sarishti means having the opulences like the Lord. So four kinds of liberation devotee may accept if there is service to the Lord. That's the reason only they can accept. Otherwise, they're not interested in that particular thing. They're not interested in spiritual world, being near to the Lord, being having form of the Lord, having opulences of the Lord. They are not interested. They're only interested in service. Service is there, they're accepting that. That's why they may accept. But Sayujya Mukti, they don't accept also. Sayujya Mukti means getting liberated in Brahma Jyoti. Devotees never accept that because there is no service. In other kinds of liberation, there is some service available, they can accept. They may accept. So it is said that Mukti Devi is always standing with folded palms. Please accept me to in front of a devotee. And devotee is not interested in that. And devotee may accept only if there is service to the Lord. So service is more important than just mere liberation from material existence. And those who serve the Lord, automatically they are liberated from material existence. When we are engaged as a servant of the Lord, then where is material existence? It's natural, right? Yeah. So he's saying generally devotees are anxious to seek it. So what is it? Yeah. Well, the attention of Supreme Lord. Generally, devotees are anxious to see Krishna. God cannot be seen or known by our present material senses. That's what they say. No? Ata Sri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahyam indriyahi. No, our senses are blunt. Blunt means it can't perceive spiritual things. Blunt material senses. Sevan mukha jivado. But if you begin engaging in service of the Lord, automatically, all the knowledge about devotional service or all the knowledge about Lord's name, form, qualities, everything will be revealed. If you engage in the service of the Lord, it's beginning from tongue. Sevan mukhe jivvado. Jivva adav. Jivva means tongue, adav means others, like hearing, and then serving. So many ways like that. Smelling the flowers offered to the Lord. Different devotional service you can perform. But beginning with tongue, he says. So the process of devotional service, as it is recommended, will gradually relate one from material condition of life to spiritual status. Swayam avasvatiyadaha. So the devotee becomes purified of all designations. That's why I said, no, muktir hitva anitha rupena. That is designations. The senses can then become uncontaminated. So such a devotee is already liberated while being in this body also, called Jivan Mukta. It's like coconut is, sound comes. If you dry coconut, so that already is detached from internally. So though externally he is still having the body, pure devotee, but internally he is detached from anything material. So he is using all body, senses, mind, everything in Krishna service only. So that's why he is automatically liberated, even without actually having like given up his body also and gone back to body also. So automatically he is liberated. And liberation does not mean getting some extra hand or extra head or something like that. While being in this body also you may be liberated if you are fully engaged in service of the Lord. And then of course, if you give up the body, you may go back to God, Krishna. Right. So senses can then become uncontrollable. So this is the point. So when you are engaging your senses in the bhakti yoga, then it becomes purified. And when the purified senses are employed in service of the Lord, one becomes situated in bhakti rasa life. Any action performed for satisfaction of Krishna in this transit to bhakti rasa state of life can be relished perpetually. So whatever action you do in this way, in bhakti rasa, that you have permanent relish. Go ahead, Prabhu, from here. Shant Prabhu. Okay, Pranay Prabhu, you can read.
Sorry, Prabhu. When the purified senses are employed in the service of the Lord, one becomes situated.
From here you can read.
When one is thus engaged in devotional service, all varieties of rasas or mellows turn into eternity. In the beginning, one is trained according to the principles of regulation under the guidance of the acharyas or spiritual master, and gradually When one is elevated, devotional service becomes automatic and spontaneous eagerness to serve Krishna. There are 12 kinds of rasas, as will be explained in this book, and by renovating our relationships with Krishna in 5 primary rasas, we can live eternally in full knowledge and bliss.
Total 5 are there, 5 primary and 7 secondary. Anybody knows what are 5 primary rasas? 5 primary mellow in devotion service. Anyone knows? No one? Without ChatGPT.
When is Bhakti Rasa, Prabhu?
Huh? Bhakti Rasa, no, all are Bhakti Rasa only.
Okay.
In Bhakti Rasa, what are the 5 mellows? You know, Pranay Prabhu?
No.
So this is Shantaras, Dasaras, Sakhiras, Vatsalras, Madhuriras, the 5 rasas. Shant is, and it's like going up. Shant is like neutrality. Of course, there's not much rasa, but it's still the Shant rasa. Means you may be in abode of the Lord, like a tree, or some kind of just witnessing the pastime and glorifying, adoring, like that. So Shantaras. You may not be actively engaged in the service. Then Das is like Hanumanji, that's the Dasaras, you serve as a servant. Then Sakya is like as being a friend of the Lord, more intimate. Vatsalya, being parents of the Lord, more intimate. Then being a lover, conjugal pastime, like Krishna and gopis and Radha and conjugal is Madhuri like that. So different rasas like that, And there are secondary rasas also there. In that there is Bhyanak ras, and Hasya ras, like different rasas are there. You will see that later it comes. But they're secondary, but primary is 5. Yeah. Okay, let's read this last paragraph and we'll stop it. Pranay, you can read.
Yeah. The basic principle of the living condition is that we have a general propensity to love someone. No one can live without loving someone else. This propensity is present in every living being. Even an animal like a tiger has this loving propensity, at least in a dormant stage, and it is certainly present in the human beings. The missing point, however, is where to repose our love so that everyone can become happy. At the present moment, the human society teaches one to love his country or family or his personal self, but there is no information where to repose the loving propensity so that everyone can become happy. That missing point is Krishna, and the nectar of devotion teaches us how to stimulate our original love for Krishna and how to be situated in that position where we can enjoy our blissful life.
So this subject is going to expand tomorrow. So
Hmm.
tomorrow will be very powerful. It talks very straightforward, how our propensity to love can be truly satisfied. Very nice discussion is coming up further like that. Yeah. So any final reflection anybody has? Then we'll pause it. Yeah. So actually, one thing I was also thinking that stop.